Hi, my name is Garth Spencer, and this is another episode of The Garth Spencer Show. And if you like me blithering on about odd and sometimes quaint ideas, be sure to subscribe. This episode is about organizers. I don't know about you, but I have an enormous amount of material I'm constantly trying to organize. Uh, Whole boxes of loose papers and books and files and notes that I made to myself and I can't find later on. In Christmas of 2019, especially December 25th, I decided to spend the day alone just doing enormous amounts of house cleaning and especially doing a first pass on all the burden of papers that I'd lug through life. And, you know, this is going to be a long haul. It's going to take a while. I can't count the number of times I've started over again. And the thing that strikes me is if you were doing one little volume organizer, why would it have to be chronologically organized instead of thematically? I mean, I know there are lots of little class notebooks and little custom dividers made up where you can put in your own number of sections with your own titles for them, but you would think that there was a standard set of major topics in life or tasks to take care of or things to file. Some of them financial, some of them social, some of them house cleaning issues or budgeting, and not forgetting continuing education. Well, I've been doing this, reorganizing it over and over and over several times over 60 years, and I'm not finished. I don't have a final design. I find myself revising the series of titles I use for paper files, for example, let alone the series of digital files I've accumulated. Is there any standard form of organization? And it appears no. I've seen a few self-help manuals, and every one seems to have a somewhat subtly but critically different, radically different form of organization. So I guess organizing life is an individualized thing. You make up for yourself what are the most important priorities, the topics. And the problem with this is that, of course, you're going to lose track of something essential. I have a confession to make. My family background omitted things like, financial planning or thinking ahead. Either that or I couldn't quite grasp what people were telling me or retain it in memory. I don't know about you, but I was a very anxious child. I was terrified of the future. People made me panic whenever they talked about financial planning, saving for the future, and so on. Now I'm just resigned. I've been around the block a few times. I know that stuff happens and life happens while you're making other plans. Well, that's finances. What about other areas of life, like your relationships, or family, or how you line up jobs and employment, and how you save anything for the future when it's getting steadily harder to find any disposable income? Maybe that isn't an issue for you in your tax bracket, or you've got a totally different experience of income and expenditures. This recalls another subject that I'll explore another time: how vastly different people's language and their life experience is, how much this undermines community, which is going to be a severe functional problem in large urban societies. I've raised a lot of issues, a lot of questions, and I don't have solutions. I do have a final thought. You have, I think, settled on some solutions for yourself. Examine them from time to time. Ask them if they've ever been challenged. Just a thought for the next year. This is Garth Spencer signing off with another issue of the Garth Spencer Show, and if you like these shows, do subscribe. Thank you.